Hey, everyone, it's me, Tamara Brown. Who am I? I am an author, blogger, website designer, as well as a publishing consultant and the host of Blah Diaries. Broke, lonely, angry, and horny, turning my mess into a masterpiece. So, guys, what am I talking about today? First, I want to thank everyone for downloading Cash and Money and my novels, Cash and Money, and Love Has No Waist Size. Over the weekend, I had over 3,000 downloads of Love Has No Waist Size. That has put me on the top bestsellers list for free because I was giving away the book for free. And I just wanted to build up readership. People are everyday reading. I'm getting about 500 reads a day, which is 500 pages read a day, which is amazing to me, because sometimes when you're in this business, you don't think that you're doing a great job. And this is a tough business, being an author. Yes, you write the book. Yes, you have an editor and all those great things. But the key to it is marketing and connecting to your readers. So for me, the plus and the win is connecting to new readers. So I am super, super excited. And so I also wanted to talk a little bit about the lessons that I learned. Blah Diaries is just really me opening up about things that have challenged me, things that have put me in a position where I've had some fears, and I've allowed people's definition of me to say, this is who Tamara is. This is what she does. This is how she thinks. This is how she feels. And I realized after years and years and years of self-reevaluation that I was allowing people to paint a picture of who I was. And so one of the big things that I heard, and this is from the time that I was 6 years old, was, you're always messing everything up. It was something that was said to me at 6 years old. You're always messing everything up. And so it stayed with me, because that was my mother's and family members' ways of scolding me. So I always thought that I was a curse. So I was a big reader. Okay, I've always been a big reader. But one day somebody said to me, girl, all those things happening to you, there must be a generational curse on your family. Honey, I retreated into my closet. I stopped talking to people. And people don't know, and I say this all the time, people have no clue how words harm people. People have this thing where they think they helping people with their words, and in actuality, they are tearing them apart because they think they helping, right? But they're putting a definition on somebody that you really don't know the full story. And so I live with those two things, that I always mess things up, and that on my life and on my family's life, that there was a curse. Because if you looked at it, there was a whole bunch of hell breaking loose, right? I don't have this warm and fuzzy story. I don't know what the hell that is, right? I could tell you a lot of things that happened that were negative. And so I had people defining me, and I lived to their definition. Oh, you ugly. So I accepted it. You don't dress nice. So I really didn't dress nice. I can't listen. I was 11. I used to pack bags, right? And I never forget, I saved about $100, and I was like, I'm going shopping. And I went shopping for myself. And and everybody else, I think at the time, I wanted the penny loafers. So I went and got these penny loafers because I saved up for them. I went and got this outfit. I thought I was cute. And everybody was like, oh, you look like a bum. Oh, I would never wear that. It defined me because I had allowed it from a kid. It was always in me. I say, you know what? Whatever somebody said, it gotta be true, right? It gotta be true because they said that, Tamara, you look like a bum. Tamara, you mess everything up. Tamara, you got a generational curse on your life. And sometimes those people who are telling you those words don't even halfway know you. They just know your story, right? Oh my God, you have a generation. And they don't even realize that you can shatter a person, because if they've been carrying those words on their back, then and they don't know. Because let me explain this. People don't know what has been said to you as a child and as a teenager and as an adult. They have no clue, especially if they've just met you. But in our hearts and our minds, and especially for me, it took a toll on me. It said to me, Tamara, this is who you are, and you better accept that, because that's what it seems like everybody's saying it. And I'm not saying there's not truth in criticism. What I'm saying is that you have to find yourself, because at a young age, if it was instilled in me to be myself, to listen to what my words are and live on my own terms and conditions of who I'm supposed to be, I think I would have been able to deal with things better, and I would have had a better life. And that's not to blame anybody, because sometimes people telling you messing things up, they see the potential in you, but they want to knock you down. They might like what you wear, but because you were bold enough to step out and wear it, they feel like, listen, I'm going to tell her that she don't look good. I'm going to tell her that she's ugly, she's fat, she's this, she's that. And let me tell you something. When people are definitely targeting you, there's something that's ill in them. So let me say that again. When people are targeting you and constantly tearing you down and telling you that you're ugly, all these negative words, there's something ill inside of them, and they don't see their worth. And you know, it used to be that somebody would say to me, when people are playing, they seriously mean what they say, but they don't want to, they haha girl, I'm just playing, you ugly heifer, I'm just playing. But they mean that from the rooter to the tutor. And so I had to start to define myself. And I started last year, when it was, and I'm telling you, it's still pertinent in my life, where a friend said, well, you'll never get it. She didn't, let me rephrase that because I don't want to lie. She said, well, you can't get a man if you ain't, you're not ready. And I'm looking around, and I'm looking at inside of me, and I'm saying, but I'm around people who toe up or the flow up, and I'm talking about their lives and their mental state, and they got a man and you got a husband, and I'm not saying you messed up, but everybody around me, and you're saying that I got to be 100% perfect to get a husband, or I don't qualify to get a husband. That's set on me because people have said that to me over and over and over again. Like, you got to be perfect. Well, what about you? So I had to learn to define Tamara. And I had to learn to like myself in a way where I started to shut people out and really work on me and find my definition. And I realized a lot of things. One, my talent is unspeakable, meaning I'm very talented. Like, nobody can deny that. Nobody can deny that if they put their vision in my hand, that I won't bring it alive. They can't deny it. They may have the business sense, they may have all those things, but when you give me an idea, I can breathe life into it, and I can make it 100 times better. And I had to realize that about myself, that my creativity is outside of the box. I will always think outside of the box. I also said to myself, well, Tamara, how powerful are you? So I started making these lists of things that were good about me, because folks would say, oh, you sweet, but, this is my other one, Lord. People would just kind of say, girl, no matter what nobody say about you. What they really meant was, no matter what I thought about you. Let me say that again. No matter what I thought about you, but I'm going to just say, no matter what nobody else said, girl, you are right. And that's okay, because a lot of times people are not going to tell you their true hearts and minds and spirits. They're just not. What you have to know is who you are. And so let me put this disclaimer out here that this process is still developing as of today. That I'm learning to speak life into me, no matter the negative noise around me. I am learning to hold my head up in spite of conversations that I can actually hear. Because, see, you had to validate you. Like, all those years, at the time that I was 6 years old, it was taught to me that it was someone else's responsibility to validate you, to tell you you're pretty, to tell you you're smart, to tell you that you got it going on, or that wasn't given. I wasn't granted that permission, so I always came down on myself harder than anybody else, because I thought that was the norm. I had to wait for people to compliment me. I had to wait for people to make me feel good. And I think that we give the responsibility to people to say who we are, what we do, how we should dress, how we should act. And that's how slavery comes. And I'm not even talking about slavery on a racial issue, but slavery of our minds, our spirits, and our souls. So many times we're sitting at the door waiting for someone to say, good job. Girl, you wrote the hell out of that book. Sometimes you're not going to get 50 reviews. It's nice when people review your books. It's nice when people review you with positive accolades. But I just know, and I have trained myself to understand, that there's going to be a whole bunch of other people in the corner right behind your back saying she ain't shit. I don't like her. She make me sick. She get on my nerves. Every time she come around, life falls apart. That generational and spiritual curse sat on my soul for so long that one day when I was telling a friend that, they was like, because you letting them block your blessings. Have you ever thought that they're telling you this to hold you back? Have you ever thought that they're telling you all this negative shit about you is because they don't want you to move forward? See, it's okay to tell people and check people and do all the things that you do, but be cautious about how you say those words. Be cautious on how you treat people. People generate their own karma. And what you say about yourself, because you start to believe the shit that people say about you. You start to be like, girl, maybe I am a failure. Maybe I can't write a book. What? I can't. Because Tina has said that I wasn't good enough and I'm too fat. And she over there sleeping with your ex. Because she said, you should leave your ex because you don't qualify for him because he's too cute for you. And he's too smart for you. And he got too many degrees for you. So, girl, you do not deserve him. Not at all. So why are you trying to get this dude, huh? Why are you trying to pretend that he wants you? Are you tripping? He don't want you. And then she got him. See, I'm not saying to be conceited, but I do believe you have to be confident. I think that you have to start to celebrate yourself and find the definition of who you are. See, because when you know the definition of who you are, you can clean up your own bullshit. You can smell when your shit stinks. A lot of times people don't pull themselves out of addictions and problems because there's them haters who want people to stay the same. You got to also realize there's another aspect of that. Some people don't want you to change. So even if you are fucked up and broken and toe up from the flow up, there's some people in your lives who are comfortable with you being fucked up. And will be like, you an alcoholic? Ooh, let me give you a drink. Ooh, you want some crack? I'll give you some crack. Because those people don't want you to change. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I had a good friend of mine who was on drugs. And I went and called their family members. And their family members came over and gave them crack. And I was sitting there like, oh, I'm calling you to help him. I'm not trying to get him high. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, why are you getting him high? Because he said, I'll never want that nigga to be better than me. That was like an aha moment for me. Because there's people who will hold you back. Now, these people were bold and they said what they felt. But can you imagine how many enablers there are that are enabling people to do bad things because they don't want them to be better than them, or they don't want them to leave them? My Aunt Cookie used to say that her one boyfriend used to tell her that I keep you drunk because if you're sober, you'll leave me. Did you hear what I said? That if I keep you drunk, you won't leave me. And when you become sober, you'll realize how bad of an individual I am, and you'll get the fuck gone. So, and I know that people are like, what? But it's the truth. There's people who will enable you because they will say, listen, keep being who you are. Don't click that. I don't want you, because if you get better than me, then you gonna leave me. If you get smarter than me, then you go to college and graduate. Girl, you can't graduate. You stupid. You always been stupid. So why would you even try to put yourself into college? You stupid. Right? They're defining you. They're putting this definition that is nowhere true. You may not learn like everybody else. You may not do things like everybody else. But if somebody is defining you, ask yourself, are they holding you back because they fear losing you? Ask yourself if their definition of you is really the fear of really saying, because a lot of times people see your potential. People see the good in you. They know what you can do from the get-go. She's smart. Did she say that while she was sober? That makes sense. Did she say that while she was depressed? You ever have a friend and you and your friend have been friends for years, and the one thing y'all good at is being depressed together? You call her up, girl, how life doing? Shit. How your life? Shit. And y'all crying and y'all complaining, and you been her complaining partner for about good 10, 20 years. And all of a sudden, you get an aha moment. Oprah to hit you in your spirit. You just started reading some books. You just started changing the way you look. You just started working out. And you just started changing who you are. So when she calls you with negative stuff, you try to hit her with the positive. And she be like, who is she? Why is she changing? That's not what we do. Because see, people get uncomfortable with change. In the very beginning, people are not ready for you to change and become better. Because they're comfortable in your bad behavior. But if I change, if she changes, then where that leave me? And so then you'll hear this. Oh, all of a sudden, since you doing good for your life, you brand new. You think you too good for me. See, pay attention to your peoples. And this is what I learned. And, I learned that when your friends and boyfriends, girlfriends, whomever you dating, are around you, and family, let's get that straight, see you coming up, they will give you steps to go even higher. They will not fear you becoming better than them because they want you to elevate. Those other folks that don't want to see you elevate will always try to kick the ladder from under you. They'll always remind you of your failures. They'll remind you of your faults. They'll remind you of your mistakes and your madness. That remind, man, remember when we used to chill together? You was a lot more fun when you was drunk and high and you was doing what you was doing. When we was out here gang banging and selling drugs, you was a much better person. Look at you. You done fell off and shit. You with a wife. You got kids in this nice house, this nice car. You done fell off, man. And he said that, and remember where he living at now. Because see, sometimes we listen to people, but we don't peep where their situations is. Check that person to see where they living at. If they living in their car, they might not be a good person to take some advice off of and telling you and defining who you are. If they on the block every day and they just fresh out of jail, they might not want to be the person you talking to. Because when people want you to elevate, they're going to help you go and they're going to push you up that ladder. They're not going to remind you of your bad shit and your bad behavior, because your bad behavior is over with. You didn't change you, and you didn't become the better woman and man. So why do we allow people to define us? Is because it's easy. It's easy to say, Tamara, and I'm saying this to myself, Tamara, you are a failure. She right. You know, you look at what... And let's talk about the people who are doing good, but don't want you to surpass them. Because sometimes you got your friends that are doing really well, and they like, if she get better than me, she gonna make more money than me, she gonna get cars, she gonna lose that weight, and she always been my ugly friend. Well, where the hell am I gonna get an ugly friend at now? I've had friends that took me places because it made them look better. Don't think, oh, she toe up. What's wrong with Tamara? And sometimes we get so comfortable in people's definition that we start to act and live them out. And I'm telling you my story. I acted and lived it out because somebody would be like, girl, just come on with me. Don't go, just throw on a pair of sweatpants. She was going to a birthday party. And do you know this girl? So I'm like, she says, oh, girl, we just go pick up your clothes. Do you know she had drove all the way out of town? And I'm like, what are you doing? And she said, girl, I got to go. And it made her feel so comfortable. And I didn't realize that she did that on a regular basis. You got to get dressed up and fix your hair up. Girl, that's another story. I allowed it. So I can't even blame her, right? Because I allowed her to dictate and determine how I should look on the low, how I dress. Because sometimes when we rush in and we want to satisfy our friends, our family, and our children, we'll just do what they want. And I'm just telling you from experience, that shit don't make them loyal. That shit don't stop them from being mad at you. That shit don't stop them from acting like they care about. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And I'm saying that to y'all because a lot of times we think that if we conform to the people that we care about, that they'll stay around. We think that they will last forever and a day, and they will appreciate that I settled for less. I kept myself down. And I know that when I tell people that, it blows their minds. But some of our friends and family members don't want you to change. And here's the kicker. Sometimes we don't change because we have gotten comfortable in their definition. And we don't want to do the work to define ourselves and to repair ourselves. We like when people tell us who we are. So we stick with that title until it drives us crazy, or we just accept it. We just say, well, you know, my mother said I was never going to make it, so I'm going to just go ahead and quit on myself. Everybody told me I'm a failure, so what am I going to do? And enablers, and I've been an enabler, of other people and of myself. Listen, I enabled myself from reaching a destiny, and now that I'm going forward every day, I notice that people don't want to have certain conversations or those people have fallen off of my life. And and let me tell you something. I'm okay with it because I know who I am. I have become so comfortable in who I am. I know what I need to repair about myself. I know what's broken in me. And I also know what's repaired and what I know that I have surpassed as a person and what I've changed. But if you continue and if you continue to let people define you, you'll be stuck in their world. Too many times I see a lot of young girls get into unhealthy relationships. And when I say unhealthy, the guy is always telling her, you ain't shit. You're ugly. You're stupid. And they be like, but because he has said that I was stupid. But if I change that, he's going to leave me. You ever go, and I'm gonna share a story. You ever go out with a dude and you go into work and you get a Fortune 500 job and it's your first week at work and y'all have kids, and then he says, can you watch the kids for me today? I can't watch the kids, and you done made this arrangement and you making about maybe $1 more than him, and he come to find out, why don't you stay home and chill with me? Damn, you ain't never home. You don't never want to be around me. You think you better than me. No, Negro, I'm going to work. That's that at the time. I dealt with stuff like that. And he never said it. He never said it, but it became clear. You will hinder your happiness and hinder yourself because if I change for the better, I might lose some folks. You will. Those unloyal, unhealthy, selfish people who don't want to see you better. That's who you're going to lose. Because if you're staying around people, it's like, if you ever sit and watch and you're around a bunch of people who ain't doing shit, they all doing the same thing. And when you get one person out the crew, then they convince everybody else to hate that person because they did something with their lives. Pay attention. See, when people want you to do better, they not going to allow you to lay on your ass or do nothing for yourself. They just not. When people care about you, they're going to push you up the ladder. Not kick it from under you, not tear down and break the stairs. None of that. They're not going to do that. They're going to push you up no matter how hard or how heavy the shit gets because they love you and they care about you. That's how that goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to start really realizing that we are not what people define us in a negative sense. We have to get quiet. Sometimes you got to break up some relationships. You got to change your behaviors. You got to close yourself in your room and put that mirror in front of there and say some affirmations like, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I am worthy, I am not less than what people say, I'm going to make it in this earth, because too many of us are letting people define who we are. Too many of us have forgotten how truly intelligent we are. One thing I hate girls do, I'm a bitch. Dudes be like, I be with my bitches, right? And so girls start to believe, because he be like, you a bad bitch. I mean bad. You a bad bitch. And she just accepting it and degrading herself because she has become comfortable with the word that people have defined her. Instead of saying you a beautiful queen, that you are sexy, you're intelligent. No, you a bad bitch. You a savage. You a beast. Now, I use beast because I am a hardworking person. I want to excel. I want to be at my highest. So, but I think that even then, you have to change the terms of your words and realize that, no, I'm not a beast as far as something that's negative, but I'm a beast as far as a person just going out and going for what I want. So You have to change your words. You have to define you and stop living under people who have all these negative stigmas. And here's the thing, even if you did some shit, I'm going to say this loud and clear. Even if you did some shit that was just simply unhealthy, you did a lot of things, you lied, you cheated, you did this, you used drugs, you did use drugs, you slept with baby daddies, whatever the case may be that you have done, at the end of the day, there's this one word, forgiveness. Because God did it, right? God forgives us. So, if you change your life from sucking cock to get to the top, to making plastic cocks and becoming an actual millionaire and making, massages, that's what they call them on the, then those folks are hating on you, because it don't matter what you did in your past. We keep putting, and I can't say everything because some things that have been unresolved, but once you have atoned for your sins, once you have said, listen, I did this and you're not doing it anymore, you know who you are. You know the definition of you. Because it's crazy how we let people tell us we no good. And they ain't did no better than you. How you talk about me and you know where, and even if you are better than me, at the end of the day, when I slit my skin and you slit your skin, we bleed blood. You may have a little bit of money, but here's the thing about money. You can have millions of dollars, but if you don't handle your money correctly, you will lose it. So guys, I want to thank you so much for listening to me. My name is Tamara Brown. I am an author, blogger, website designer, as well as a publishing consultant and the host of Blog Diaries, Broke, Lonely, Angry, and Horny, turning your mess into a masterpiece. And listen, encourage yourself today. Empower yourself. Tune out those people speaking negative over you and into you, and change it into something positive. And so, guys, I want to again thank you so much for purchasing my books. You can find my books on Amazon. And I have several. I have 6 books out. That is Blues Treasure, Fat Girl Vigilante, I'm Still Here. I have so many books. Gatekeepers of Secrets, Love, Lust, and Lotto, Cash and Money, and Love Has No Wayside. So, guys, go out and purchase a copy today. You can download it on your Kindle. 3 of my books is on Kindle Unlimited. And again, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.